welcome back. Thank you for joining me for another video. All right, so today is going to be something different. I figured you guys would all want to see how I make one of these. I've never done one before. They are from a company called BearWood Supply. They have really awesome stuff. Not just, these panels, sculpted panels, but they've got all kinds of stuff, so you can check them out. They're on Instagram, Facebook, and they've got a ton of stuff. So there's different designs too. I also got little coaster sizes as well, so I'll be can't wait to try those. So I figured, you know what, get the camera going, and then I've never done these before. I've never worked on these before. I've seen other artists use them. One mainly in particular is Annie from Annie's Art Studio. You may know her from Instagram. If you don't, I'll link her Instagram, and she's got a YouTube channel as well in the description below. But that's who I saw using these originally. And I have these easy forms because you're probably wondering, how are you going to pour resin on here without it falling over the edge? So I will show you guys that in the next step. In the meantime, what I've done already is I've taped the back of my round and the back of my square. And what I'm going to do now is I've got to add a primer. So I'm going to be adding Liquitex Basics Gesso. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do 2 coats of it. So I'm going to do one, let it dry, and then do a second coat, because you do have to prime it or else the paint or the resin is going to seep through. So I'm going to get going on that, and I'll be right back. Okay, everyone, next step now. As you can see, I've already painted it. I didn't feel that there was a need for me to show you guys how to paint. So what I did is I just took a paintbrush, took some colors, and I painted on just right over the white. I did a buff on this. This is this color, but with some white added to it to lighten it up. This is turquoise by Amsterdam, and this is a phthalo blue as well. So I literally just painted. I don't know if I needed to paint the sides, but I painted them anyway. Like I said, I've never done this before, so I'm learning as I go. So super simple, painted the colors that I wanted, okay? The next thing we're gonna do is I am going to attach these strips, which you can purchase at BearWood, and they are for putting it up here against your sculpted panel to prevent the resin from seeping out when you're covering it in resin. Now, this trick I saw from Annie's Art Studio, which is where I even originally found sculpted panels. Annie's Art Studio, I believe I mentioned her earlier. See, these videos are shot, once every couple of weeks or a week or so, so I don't remember what I said in the previous videos. But she used this premium paste wax. I just ordered it off Amazon. So what she did in her video was use this. Let me just open it up without like cutting myself or anything. I need my paint can. There we go. So there it is, paste wax. Actually smells really good. So what she did was she put some of this. So I'm just going to use a dollar store paintbrush. And she put it on here, on her little strip here. I guess it prevents, I don't even really know why she did it. I'm gonna have to figure that out, and I might put it down in the description below. But I do what she does because she's so awesome at what she does. And that is where I learned from. So what you wanna do is just put, a little strip of it down there, and you're supposed to put it on here. But what I need is to flip this guy upside down. So Let me get myself something to prop this up with. Now, this is the first time I'm doing this, so you're gonna have to bear with me on this. All right. So, this way. So what you want to do is tape it. So this is going to be a little tricky. Yeah, this is going to be tricky for me. How did she do that, Annie? Annie did it on a round, so it was a lot easier. I got to do all these pieces all one by one. So let me just get some tape first. So I'm going to tape the back of this. See, I'm learning as I go, and you guys are learning with me. Ta-da! Guess I probably should have done this part first, huh? All right. All right. I'm going to have to do that to all the rest. So what you want to do is put it. Can you guys see what I'm doing? Yeah, you can. So again, this is why now I have this paste wax here, and I'm putting it up against the painted side. So I don't really know if painting the sides was ideal or not, but whatever. I'm learning. All right, so there's one, okay? Actually, that's gonna work out pretty good. Let me just make sure it adheres to the bottom, like so. I'm gonna put another piece of tape here, but I just wanted to get this first one on. Once I get this strip on and tape them like so, tape it right here, they'll stick. All right, so I'm going to keep working on that while you watch sped up version. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that was a challenge. You probably saw me struggling. That was really hard, but I did manage to get it all wrapped up. I've added extra layers all around. I even added more on the top. I made sure all the corners were covered. But yeah, that was definitely a challenge and hard to do, but I did it. It's a learning experience. This is the first time I've ever done it. So it's ready to go. Now I realize this paste wax is probably put on so that you can easily take this off after, so that in case it sticks to the wood. That's my guess. But so yeah, so now I have it all ready to go. Now you could probably see, maybe not, there's some gaps in here. So there's definitely gonna resin's definitely gonna seep into there, but that's okay. What I might do is get something heavy and put it up against all four corners when it comes time to doing the resin. So I might just put something really heavy against it just to push it up against the panel here, and it'll be a little bit better. And yeah, the next step is to put some resin on it. So I've got some color swatches here, and I'm going to be doing this color here, this color here, this color here, which I will tell you more about when it comes time for me to do the resin. So for right now, that is it for this step. And the next step will be figuring out the resin and figuring out how I'm going to do all of this, because I'm learning. Okay, next step coming up in a bit. Hey everyone, back for the next step of this video. So time to add some resin. So I have already gone ahead and mixed my resin, and my resin of choice, of course, is my casting resin from KRYSTAL Resin. All right, so it's a 2-to-1 mixture. So 2 parts A to 1 part B. Okay, you can get this on the KRYSTAL Resin website, and you can save 5% off using code Kanella5. So what I did was I did 2 full cups of part A to 1 cup of part B. Okay, so that's what I did. Put it in this big cup, gave it a stir for about 4 to 5 minutes just to be safe, while stirring, you must remember to scrape your edges, scrape the bottom, especially if there's a crevice on the bottom of your cup. And don't forget, you must scrape the popsicle stick or stir stick or whatever it is you're using, and then scrape the sides again and continue mixing. It's very important that you do that, or else it's just not going to mix properly. All right. So what we have, I've painted, as I mentioned in my last video, or the video before, can't remember. This is so many steps to this video. Painted this, put my sides on. Okay, and now I am going to add some sand to the bottom part here, and then some colored resin up here. So I've got this white, really pretty white sand. It's from Michael's, Ashland Fine Stone Granules. Okay, got that at Michael's, so I'm going to be using that. And then what I did was I went to my swatch boards over there and picked colors that I thought would look good here. All right, so that's why I love having these popsicle swatches. They're so convenient. So we're going to be using turquoise here by Color Obsession. That is a powder or a pigment. And then for the middle, I'm using Blue Diamond by Just Resin, and that is a paste. And then here I'm using Artie Sue, which is Sapphire, and that is a powder pigment as well. So let's start with the sand. Now, I think I've only ever done this once before, so I'm learning as I go and recording so you guys can learn with me as I go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put just a little bit in here, and maybe that was even too much. Always start with a little bit. I'm gonna empty some out because if I need to add more, I can. So what you want to do is make this sand into a really thick paste. That way it doesn't start flowing where you don't want it to go, right? So let's add some sand. All right, so let's start with that. And you're gonna mix it into the resin. And you see how goopy it is? That's really what you want. You don't want it to be too fluid, because then it's just when you're adding it, it's gonna flow over to spots you don't want it to, okay? So just enough resin to make it wet. And that should be good, actually. See, it's a good thing I took some of that resin out. You can always add more, but you can't take it out once you've mixed it. So that should be good. That's perfect. All right, so now I'm going to carefully add it just to the tan colored part of this sculpted panel. All right, I'm going to speed you guys up though. All right, so the sand has been added. Clearly I needed a little more than I thought, so I just made some more. And now it's time to do the blues. So let's add some resin in these little cups. Now, I don't know how much I'm gonna need, so if I have too much, then I will use the leftover in a mold. It's always better to have a little extra than not enough, because if you want to try and mix more of the same color, you probably won't get it to the shade that you want it to be in. And I'm wondering if that's enough. I'm going to add a little more just in case. It won't go to waste, because if it's too much, then I will find one of my molds and put it in a mold. All right, so let's start with the turquoise. And you don't want to put too much. You can always add more, but you can't take it out if you put too much. I kind of want it to be a little transparent. So I'm just going to put a little bit and stir slowly, because it is a powder. And you don't want the powder exploding in your face when you're stirring. So make sure you scrape your edges, get all the powder dissolved. So you see a little bit of transparency there, which is what I want. You don't want it to be too thick. Maybe just a smidge more. Okay. All right. There we go. So there's the first color. Let's put that there. Close this back up. All right, and then this one is a paste, which is more concentrated, so you definitely don't need a lot. So I'm even just gonna start with that. Just literally dipping the stick, just like that. Dip it in, and that's it. Such a beautiful color. And then you want to scrape the stick to get the paint or the paste off of it. And then of course, scrape the side. Look at that beautiful color. It's so pretty. Wow. Look at that. Okay, see how there's still some paint, some paste there, right there, by scraping the stick. All right, there's color number 2. That's why these things go a long way. So sometimes, you know, these things might be expensive. You might think, oh, wow, that's a lot of money. But I've had these for years and they're still full. So, and I've used them a lot. So a little goes a really long way. All right, stir very carefully and slowly, because it is a powder. You don't want it powder dust all over your face or all over your work. Scraping the sides as you go. And there's a dark blue. Wonder if this one should be a little darker. Just a bit. And never ever stick your stick in there. Never, ever, ever. Don't ever do that. Use a clean one that doesn't have resin on it. Slowly until you get all the pigment wet. All right. That should be good. Perfect. Look at that. So pretty. All right, so let's close this back up. And now let's see how this is gonna work out. Never worked with these sculpted panels before. What on earth is in my sand? What is that? It's a green bead, glass bead. How did that even get there? Well, it's gone now. That is crazy. All right, so let's start carefully with the blue, and I'm gonna have to really try hard not to get it to go over into the sand, because that would really suck if that happened. But it's gonna be tough because these are sculpted. So I've never done this before. So we shall see. Might be a little tough. I don't mind if the blues mix together, but I don't want the blue, this one, to mix with the sand. So might be a little tricky. All right, so I'm gonna use my stick to carefully bring the resin right to the edge without it overflowing. And there's Echo barking. So just enough to wet the wood, the MDF, with the resin, and that's it. You just want to take your stick and push it right to the edge, and that's it. And that should work. Yeah, it should work well, actually. Perfect. Like I said, I don't mind if these are gonna mix, which I probably will mix them anyway, but you don't want it touching the sand. And it's already going in here. I wasn't paying attention. All right, fix it fast. There we go. So it obviously went a little too far on this side, but that's okay. I just fixed it. And this casting resin doesn't take too long to start curing. So it should be okay as long as no more of this blue stuff, blue resin, goes over the edge. And then we should be good. So don't worry about filling up the cavities, because you're gonna just put a clear coat on top anyway once all this layer is dry. So don't worry about that. There we go. That's perfect. All right, I'm gonna get some up here, cover up the blue paint. Like so. And this is why it's important to paint the panels, because then if I hadn't have painted it, then you would be seeing a lot of white under here. And it's seeping down here again. So I'm gonna have to keep my eye on this and come back every so often, maybe every 20 minutes or so, and just make sure that the blue has not seeped into the sand. Just a little scrape. There we go. Push some of this back over here. Maybe that's why it's pushing it. All right. It doesn't matter too much here along the edge, because I am gonna put white and do the waves. You just don't want it coming all the way down here, because then that's just not right. But if it's just here on the edge, it's not the end of the world, because you are gonna do your waves, right? All right, let's add the next color and keep playing with this. So yeah, I have a little bit of resin left in that cup. All right, so let's do the next color. All right, and I'm gonna do the blue at the same time. Wow, that's so pretty. And see, good thing I did add more to the cups. All right, so now I'm going to use my finger just to smooth it out. Make sure I get it in all the little crevices. And then it doesn't matter if you mix it in with this turquoise one. You just want to make sure you don't mess up down here with the light blue. All right. Doesn't matter if you mix it up just a bit. Adds character, adds definition, adds whatever it is you want to call it. Oh, that's pretty. Wow, I love it. I love it already. Oh, this is so neat. All right. I don't want to mess with it too much because I still want it to have its different colors. Wow, I love it. Okay, so again, little seepage going on here with this one side, this bugger right here. I'm going to add a little more sand. Do I have any left in here? Put that there. All right, now I'm going to torch it super quick, really, really quick. Okay, and then actually I'm going to put some shells down here. I think I can take these off now because I'm not using this one. The other one had sand on it, so let me get some shells. All right, so these are from the dollar store. I can't find them anymore. I've had these for a year or two, but I cannot find them anymore. But I'm sure you can get shells lots of different places. So I think I'm gonna add, and I'm gonna add them down low because again, I'm gonna be putting the white wave here. So there's no point in putting it up here anywhere. So I'm gonna put it down here, right into the resin. And let's see here. Let's put a little cute little pink shell right beside it. And maybe this little brown one. Just put it into the resin. Let's see. Ooh, look at this big guy. I'm gonna put him right about here. So just, you know, put them wherever you want. I think it looks good there. That's actually cute. Maybe I'll put one more. Do I have another big one? Oh, that's a big one. Let's put it right here. Perfect. Put these back in. Let's see, and then I have these teeny tiny little ones. Like these are teeny tiny. Like look how small those are. So just put a few teeny tiny ones. You can use tweezers to put them in if you want, or just your hands. There. That's it. I don't want to put too many. That's it. Okay, so that is the next step, and you can see it's still, the blue is still seeping down here in the corner. Bugger. Driving me nuts. But that's okay. Nothing the white waves won't fix. At least the rest is perfect. I love this. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Now there's a speck of something in here, so I got to get that out. Okay, that's out. And that's out. Okay, So that is the next step. I'm gonna let this cure at least 12 hours, or I could even do it after 6 or 8 hours. And then I'll come back and I will do a clear coat on top. So until the next step. Back with the next step of this project. Okay, so this is now dry. I have mixed another batch of my crystal resin, and I saved a little bit on the side because I'm going to be doing some beach waves in this one. All right, so I am just going to, you can see and feel the wood still protruding in some spots. So hopefully I have enough resin here, and I will flood this with what I hope to be the second last coat of this project. This project that has taken me forever because I keep putting it off. So I'm hoping this is enough. We shall see, but I have to still do one final layer anyway. That'll be, when this is dry, I will take these off. Hopefully they come off easily. I don't know. We'll have to find out now, won't we? So, all right. I'm just going to pick it up and tilt it to make sure it gets everywhere it needs to go. And I'm thinking this wasn't enough, but we shall see. Oops, I missed a corner. Missed a spot in the corner. All right, let's bring it back. Down and over. Yeah, I don't think there's enough resin. I should have mixed more. That's okay. I want it to at least coat all of this. I'm not putting any more in here, so I'm going to just keep tilting until this whole thing gets covered. Actually, it's not so bad. Actually, it's not bad at all. Although I do see a doggy hair in there. Better get that out. Look at that. You see that doggy hair? Oh, is that a Juno hair or an Echo hair? There's another one. Must be coming off my shirt. All right. Actually, no, this is perfect. Okay, so I am going to, I have this small heat gun. I'm going to get my big one just to pop the air bubbles on this. All right. I'm thinking this is okay. All right, are you centered? All right, so I have my a little extra here that I had. I'm going to use my crystal resin white pigment paste here. And you don't need much, just a little. Can you see? Yep, you can see. I'm just going to give it a quick stir. All right. And basically whatever's on my stick here is what I'm going to need. I'm not even going to dump any into the cup. So that's it. Just whatever my stick is coated with. And that might even be more than enough anyway. You don't need much. All right, let's mix it up. I haven't really thought about how I'm going to do these waves or where I want waves. Some people just do it here along the shoreline and then they add a few more up in here. I'm not sure I want to add any up at the top because I do want to add some of these marine life stickers, you know, sharks and stuff like that. These are from LOLIVEFE. You can get those from LOLIVEFE's website. And my stick just broke. I don't know my own strength. Holy smokes. All right. So yeah, as I was saying, you can get those stickers from LOLIVEFE and you can save 10% using code Kanella10. All right, so this is what I'm gonna use to do the waves because I like that it has a small tip on the end. All right, let's see what I'm gonna do here. Now, don't put too much because if you put too much, then you can't take it out. If you don't have enough, you could always add more, but don't put too much, because a little goes a long way. So I really hope this works out because I've been working on this thing for what seems like forever. So I just really want it to turn out and be pretty. All right, let's start with that and blow it out with this and see what we get. Oh, it's stuck. Guess it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna let it heat up first a little bit. All right, so I'm not very good at this, but hey, I'm trying. Okay, I don't know if this is, well, it is powerful enough. So I'm going to leave it because I'm gonna let it dry and then I'm gonna add a final layer and then do another bead of ocean. So you see how much I have left? Like, it's a lot, right? So it is a big waste. You can use that for something else. I was hoping to kind of cover this blue here that had seeped into my sand, like so. Let's roll this out a little. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it because the final layer, so once this dries, I'm gonna pull these off and then it's gonna get a final flood coat, and that's where I'm gonna do one more layer of the beach, of the waves, to give it like a 3D look, and I'm also gonna add the stickers. So I'll be back hopefully tomorrow and I'll work on this final piece, final layer one more time. So see you in the next one. All right, it's the next day. This is now dry and cured. So time to take off the sides. I hope it's easy. So I'm gonna start by, I guess, peeling the tape off the sides and the bottom, and then I'm hoping it just clicks right off. So let's try this one side and then I'll do the rest sped up, I guess. There's lots of tape. There's obviously going to be resin underneath, which you're likely going to have to sand off. I've never done this before, so we will figure this out together. Trial and error, right? So, holy smokes. She's stuck on there good. All right, I'm not sure how this is gonna work, but we're gonna try it anyway. Okay, let me see if I can pop off this one side. Oh, okay. Wait a second. Oh, look at that. And it's off. What? Look at that. Oh, wait, look at that. That's super cool. All right, so I'm going to work on getting the other sides off. All right, so the sides are all off. Look at that. So there are, you can see here, some pieces of resin. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna smooth those out. I'm gonna use just a sharp knife here, and I'm going to just score it along the top here and peel off or scrape off of those, see? Just little extra bits. Now, be careful, don't cut yourself, because that would really suck. So, oh, that comes off so easily. Look at that. Well, that was a good idea. Huh. See? I like that. You're gonna have to sand it, I'm sure, because the edges are a little sharp, but I'm not gonna do that yet because I still have to add one more layer of resin on this to finally finish this piece off. All right, so I'm gonna work on this some more, and in the meantime, I'll do that edge later. So now I want to figure out what stickers I want to put on here. Do I want to put some sharks, some dolphins? I think I want to put a stingray. These stingrays are so cute. Look how cute. Now, where do I want to put this little sucker? I want to put him somewhere where you can see him. The light blue, maybe I'll put a dolphin there, but the stingray I'll put... See, the thing is, I don't know where it's going yet because I still have to do one more layer of white waves. So I think I'll stick them there. Why not? And I think I'm going to put the dolphin closer. Where's my dolphins? Oh, here they are. So I want to put a dolphin closest to the blue. He's pretty small though. Do I have a bigger dolphin? Yeah. I think these are different sizes. Let me see. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. No, I'm wrong. They're all the same size. So let's see. I guess I'll just get the same one I just peeled. They just look so small on this massive piece. You know? He might get covered up though too, which sucks. Actually, I don't like them there. Anyways, I'm going to play around with this some more, and then I'm going to finish scraping off my edges, and then I'll come back and I'll do one final coat of resin. Stay tuned. All right, everybody, final step on this beautiful piece. Okay, so I took off, as you saw in the last part, all the edges. And then I actually took some sandpaper. This is just sandpaper from the dollar store. It is 60 grit. And I used it and I sanded off all the top here. Now, don't worry if you scratch the resin, because once you put your last top coat on top, it'll cover that all up. So I took my sandpaper. I made sure I sanded all the sharp edges. Then I sanded the sides and the bottom and made sure I did the corners so that they weren't pointy. So I'll show you. I sanded everything really well with the sandpaper. Okay, and then I have this cloth. It's Arm & Hammer microfiber wipe. It's from the dollar store. And I shall put that over there. And I use this to clean off all my canvases, actually, because it does not scratch the resin. Paper towel will scratch. Like the other, there's different kinds of microfiber. This one's really soft and fuzzy. So I use this to wipe down all my pieces before I put a last layer on top. And since I am doing resin in the middle of the afternoon, something I never ever do, because I always do resin at night, and then I leave the studio and no one's allowed to come back in here. So to prevent any hair or anything, I have this mesh food net I'm going to place over my piece when I'm done, and I shall leave it like that, and let's hope nothing falls into it as it's curing. I got this from the dollar store, but you can find them on Amazon. It's called a food tent or a food mesh tent. So you can find those. I have them listed in my Amazon shop. I've got my little cup of white, which is my crystal resin paste. You can find on the crystal resin. The top coat I'm doing is going to be the regular crystal resin, the top coat tabletop. It's 1-to-1 ratio. I've got a full cup here, which I'm not going to need for all of this, but I'm using it to do some other projects after I finish with this. And Echo's barking. All right, so I am going to put, so you see I put a little shark and a baby shark, and then I put 2 stingrays here as well, if you can see. So I'm finally going to add my last coat of resin. I'm so excited because this piece has been a work in progress for, oh boy, at least 4 weeks. But that's my fault because, you know, life gets busy. And I don't always have time to do resin and all that. And it's a piece that I've been wanting to finish off for so long. And I've just been procrastinating. So, all right, resin's down. I'm going to heat it up. Got to plug in the heat gun first. All right, let's heat it up. Now, when using resin, you should be wearing a respirator, which I cannot do for you guys right now because I am talking to you guys while doing this. I do have all the windows open though in my studio here, and I'm going to be leaving here when I'm done, but I also have my air purifier, my Dyson air purifier going. So I am just using my fingers to spread this all out and make sure I get all the sides covered really well, because I did sand the sides and they were all scratched up. So a coat of resin on the side will clear all that up and make it pretty. All right. I'm so excited about this piece. Now this piece has a lot of resin on it and it's pretty heavy, but it's going to be a beauty when it's dry. All right, just gotta make sure I cover this really well. Now what's cool is the shells actually protrude a little bit out, so it's not gonna be a completely flush surface down here, which is kind of neat actually. Gives it that 3D look. All right, now I'm just going to heat it up again and pop any bubbles. All right, and I can actually still see a piece of the wood sticking up. That's funny. Actually, that kind of adds some dimension to it. Actually, that's pretty neat. Okay, so the last thing I am going to do is one more beach wave down here at the bottom. So I am going to add, even though there's already resin on here, I'm going to try something. I see it a lot, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to add a strip of clear and then the white right above the strip, because I think that's supposed to help. So I don't know, because I already have a bunch of wet resin on this to begin with, but I shall do it anyway. Like I said, this is all new to me. Still learning as I go. And I don't want to put too much, as I look over here and there's so much over there. Let's see, maybe just a bit more. As I say, I don't want to put too much. Okay. I'm not going to do any up here because I really, really like the way that looks. And I see something in the resin, so I want to get that. There we go. Okay, so let's heat this up and push it out just a bit. Oh, I love it. Oh, it looks so perfect now. It's like kind of 3D. And I actually like the way I kind of pushed it down a little bit here into the shells. So I just want to cover this piece right here. I can see the blue and a little bit of white. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe. I want to just cover that a little bit, just a little bit. Right here. I hope I don't mess it up. Okay, don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. Okay. I think I got it to work. I'm just going to scrape off my stick here and just so carefully just do that. Now, I hope it doesn't move too much as it's drying. There, I covered it. I covered it. It looks so nice. Wow, it's so pretty. I'm really happy with this piece. So now I'm going to let it cure and dry, and tomorrow I will peel all the tape off the back. If there's any sanding on the bottom that needs to be done, I will sand it. But for now, it's good. So I'm just going to make sure my table is clean. I don't want my tent sticking to the table. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to finally have this piece done. All right, take one last look. Let me just make sure there's no hair or anything on it. Looking at it through the reflection of the light, and we're good. And we are going to cover it up. And I'm done. I will see you guys tomorrow to peel off the bottom. Well, it's the final and last step, everybody. I am so excited. This turned out so well. The edges, after I sanded them all down, the corners, everything looks so good. I am super stoked. Okay, so final step is to take the back of this off. Yeah, so let's start with the heat gun. I'm going to use the heat gun and heat all the sides, and I will slowly peel off the tape. So let's get started. So you saw me pull the tape off. It came off super easily with the heat gun. As long as you heat it up and peel it off really slowly, you should have no problems. Now you can see here, there's a few little drips right here and here. That is no problem. Now I have this paper here because I want to make sure I'm placing this down on a clean surface. So what you want to do is, what you could do is I just take an old knife and I heat it up with my torch here. Like so. Don't burn yourself. And then I use the knife to just carefully score away. You can see the smoke, it's like burning. But with the knife being hot, you're able to score away any pieces that are sticking out. And in fact, I can do that along the entire edge of this piece. which I'm probably going to do, but just not on camera because you kind of get the idea. And that's it. It's done. I'm so excited. Okay, this is the first time I've ever done anything like this. This is my first time doing a piece like this using a sculpted panel from BearWood's supply, which, here you go, BearWood's. Okay, that's the info, and I mentioned it at the beginning of this video as well. So, you know what? For a first time, I would say that's pretty darn good. So, you know, I used casting resin by KRYSTAL Resin. You can save 5% off with your casting resin. The little stickers, the marine life stickers, are from LOLIVEFE. You can save 10% off using Kanella 10 for your LOLIVEFE orders. Sculpted panels. You know, I'll have all that information in the description below. I can't remember if I have a discount code for sculpted panels. I don't remember. I'll have to look into that. But I'll put it all in the information below. And that's it. So I'm sorry for the super long tutorial, but hey, had to be done. And I would love to know what you guys think about this in the comments below. And it is available for purchase for anyone who would like to purchase this. Please email me at kanellaciraco@gmail.com. I'm super, super thrilled with this piece. And if you like what you saw, please let me know. And please subscribe to my channel. Hit that thumbs up, that like button, and the notification bell. And I think that is it for this video. There's nothing else I want to say other than everything is in the description below. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below and I will do my best to answer your comments. And that is it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, have a good day, have a good night, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.